measurement and evaluation. He's a research fellow, University of the Free State, Bloemfontein, South Africa. And he's also a visiting professor at Abai University, Kazakhstan. Guys, I sourced the best. She trusts me now. So throughout his career, Professor Ugwuanyi has been actively involved in research that cuts across, assessment, evaluation, science education, instructional technology. Like, if you don't know him, I believe his publications on Scopus database, on the Web of Science, and ResearchGate will shock you. So his experience positions him exceptionally well to speak on how emerging tools, including artificial intelligence, can support rigorous research writing. Like, it can't get better than this now, guys. So please join me in welcoming our own Professor Christian Ugwuanyi, the only Professor Christian Ugwuanyi you'd ever hear about. So let's see the reactions. Tell him he's welcome. Prof, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, the moderator, Dr. Bianca, and the esteemed audience, and then perhaps colleagues from different universities. Thank you so much for, I was almost thrown off balance by this, your introduction. I don't know. But let me accept it the way you have presented it, but I don't know. So colleagues and friends who are going to look at an important topic in this computer age, where everything today is all about computer. So just as she said, the moderator said, we're going to be looking at how to harness the potentials of AI in your different research writings. So my humble self, I feel much delighted when you call me Comrade Christian Ugwuanyi, lecturer at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So we're going to be looking at, first of all, this webinar intends to achieve these broad three specific outcomes. It's expected that at the end of this webinar, at least you'll be equipped well on how to save your time and then maximize your research writing. So you'll be able to understand how to make effective use of artificial intelligence for research writing, and as well understand the do's and don'ts in AI research, that is AI in research writing. So by means of preamble, of course, as academics in different fields, maybe students or lecturer, you believe me that research writing is not a simple task. It is actually a Herculean task that demands your mental, in fact, it takes majority of your mental processes. Mental in the sense that you have to think out what you want to do and then fashion out the best directions to it. So these days, you do your research, you conduct your research, analyze your data, manage literature reviews for you to be able to come up with effective research reports or writing. But with the AI on board now, this can be made very, very simple once you get the best approach to it. So with the power of AI, you can actually have some clear insights about the research you want to conduct. You know, one thing is conducting a research. The second thing is putting up the research in form of documents. That is the writing aspect. Going to the field to conduct the work may not be as tedious as when you are trying to settle down to pencil what you have collected from the field. That is actually where you will put in all you have learned about research writing. But with this artificial human being now, so to say, you find out that it will help you to do this without, of course, you think, but you're going to think and act fast. That is what the AI is all about. I'm not saying that, just as she said when she was coming up, we shouldn't allow AI actually to replace us. We should use it just as a tool to fast track whatever we want to do. By implication, when you don't want to do, you may be a victim of wrong information from AI. I want to shock you that not every information provided by artificial intelligence is correct. And as we proceed, you are going to get it very clearer. There's what we call hallucination. AI hallucinates. Sometimes if you ask AI what AI doesn't understand, AI will crack his or her brain and give you something. AI must produce something for you. So it is not left for you to analyze that thing AI has produced for you to know exactly that if that is what you are looking for. So it takes a lot of intelligence for you to make effective use of artificial intelligence. Right? So by leveraging on AI, researchers can now streamline their workloads, their workflows, improve their data analysis, and enhance their academic writing. This is what actually AI does for us. It is not for AI to do the research for us, but for us to do our research and seek the assistance of AI to be able to put it in a more sharper and more globally acceptable form. Okay, so what actually are AI tools for research? What are they? So these are just software applications that will assist you at the various stages of your research. Can be at introduction. It can even help you to have a better abstract if that is your starting point. Introduction can help you actually to have a catchy introduction. As we proceed, you see how you can make use of some of the AI tools at various stage of your research. Literature review is a Herculean task, and I shock you that AI can help you get it very well. I know these days getting updated literature has been a major problem for researchers, but if you use Google Scholar, if you use maybe Elicit, which is AI tool, Google Scholar also is AI tool, then if you use any of these and some other AI tools, then you can get recent and very updated materials for whatever you want to write. And the beauty of it is the AI can organize the references for you as you write. So as we proceed, we throw more light on that. So actually, these AI tools are machine learning. They make use of machine learning. They make use of natural language processing. These are actually programs written by computer experts. Then they predict, they are in a form of predictive analytics to enhance your research efficiency and accuracy. So you see now, the beauty of this AI is whether you have computer background or not, if you decide today that you want to be an AI expert, you can actually achieve that. All you need to do is get yourself immersed in training on AI. You can be a perfect AI expert without having computer background. So you can involve yourself in tutorials on AI and all whatnot, and you can get to know a lot about AI. There are so many AI tools. Some of these ones we talk about, they are just common ones. But you find out that if you want to be lazy, which I don't encourage, you may have an AI tool. You give the AI tool topic, the AI tool will do everything for you. But I wouldn't encourage that, because that is making yourself a slave to artificial intelligence. So you shouldn't be a party to such. So let us look at some of the popular AI tools for researchers. You can make use of some of these at various stages of your write-up. Of course, I know most of us may be conversant with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you can use it to draft and rewrite your work. But when we go down, you still see that, remember what I said before about hallucination. And you should also be aware that editors these days, they pick against AI writing. It doesn't mean that you can't use AI to get information you want. But when you get information from AI, don't just copy and paste for you to submit your work for review. No. What you do is, just as I said earlier, when you get information from ChatGPT, for instance, you analyze the information critically to make sure that it aligns with your research thoughts. Because the AI may have hallucinated along the line. Perhaps the AI is not conversant with what you have fed the AI. But the nature of the AI is that it's going to give you something. Whether it's right or wrong, it depends on you. And that is why you need to be very crafty, you need to be very creative before making effective use of some of these AI tools for writing. So you can use ChatGPT, you can use it to draft whatever you want to do, you can use it to rewrite material. But if you use it to rewrite material and paste it in the document you want to submit for review, what you are going to hear after reviewing it is, we have noticed that you use AI to generate your information. Because once they put it on Turnitin or any other plagiarism check, it's going to report 100% AI writing. So you need to be wary of this. Try to refrain yourself from such. All you need from AI is get the information, put the information in the way you like, so that it will look original, even though AI may have fed you. Then also you can talk about the elicit. Elicit will help you to do literature discovery. I encourage most of us to make use of this elicit. How do I use this elicit if I want to write? If I want to write, unlike ChatGPT, if you give ChatGPT to give you information on so area of interest, the ChatGPT will give you, but the ChatGPT will not give you citations. ChatGPT will not give you the references at the instance. But if you ask elicit, give me literature or empirical studies on the relationship between AI writing, AI tools and research writing, the elicit is going to give you summary of existing literature on the relationship between AI tools and research writing with references. Then, but what you need to do is, remember, you're going to keep this information, make sure that you paraphrase the information, and then make sure that you double check the references the elicit will give you. How do you do that? Copy those references, go to Google Scholar, and make sure that these references are actually existing. Once you see them in Google Scholar, you are rest assured that these references are okay. But I trust elicit to a reasonable extent. I can give it 80–90% in terms of accuracy of the literature it will give you, the empirical studies it will give you. I have checked it and it works out very well. So some of my writings, I get some of them through elicit. I'll get recent information from elicit, especially if such study is understudied. Some of my publications actually are understudied. So if I try to leverage only on Google Scholar, I may not be able to be as fast as I want to be. So what I do is I consult elicit to give me available literature on it. Once I get them, I elaborate on them and get away with it. I will cross-match them with whatever is obtainable in Google Scholar to make sure that those references are real. Then you can also make use of Perplexity. Here, so you can use it to write research summaries. But this is not as good as elicit. I have tried out Perplexity before I discovered elicit. But since I discovered elicit, I noticed that elicit is more better than Perplexity. Then in terms of grammar, you can use your Grammarly. Install it, always update it. If you write, it will check grammar for you. It is one of the ways to run away from the hurdles of go and carry out professional editing of your work. If you use Grammarly to check your writing, it will go a long way for you. Then, if you talk of references now, we have about like 3 reference managers here. You have Zotero, you have Mendeley, you have Cite. Any of these can give you and can make your referencing style very perfect. You can switch over from one referencing style to another referencing style at ease. Some of these in there are free. Zotero is free. Mendeley, which I normally use, is free. Cite is also free. All you need to do is download them, install them. They will get compatible with your Microsoft Word. And as you write your site, it will be documenting the references for you. At the end of the day, you just click insert bibliography. It will give you the bibliography. If you want APA 7th edition, it will give you direct. If you want MLA, it will give you. If you want Harvard, it will give you. Any form of referencing style at all, it will give you at ease. Why this is important is if you write a paper, most times don't write a paper for a particular journal. Write it to serve different journals. And if you use Mendeley or Zotero or Cite to write, it will be very easy for you to adapt to the referencing style of that particular journal without going back to redo your references. And one thing again is any of the references you have in text must be referenced without missing any when you use any of these reference managers. Okay, then why does AI matter at all in research writing? Why does it matter? Of course, we have growing volume of academic publications. We need fast research workflows. We need clarity and organization of any information we are putting together. We need to enhance our productivity and efficiency at the same time. So, with all this in place, we need AI to achieve this without wasting much of your time. Some of us who are lecturers, you believe me that teaching work will take most of our time. Where then do you have time to begin to do research writing manually, traditionally? No, it doesn't work. But if you are making use of some of these AI tools, it will assist you to be faster in turning up your publications. But remember the rule of the game. Avoid plagiarism. We are going to see that as we proceed. So, what are some of these benefits? Of course, we talk about time efficiency. Within a short period of time, you can do a very large volume of work, which ordinarily you would have done within even a month because of AI tool. So it is, in fact, it's very, very time effective. It will save your time to organize your references, to do whatever, have your literature search at the blinking of an eye. So then enhance collaboration. So this can help you break language barriers. Of course, these days, my experience when I was in Kazakhstan last couple of months, unfortunately to me, their language is Kazakh and Russia, and I don't speak any of those. And I was to teach students, first degree students, master's students, and PhD students. And unlike our country, Nigeria, where we jettison the mother tongue, over there they don't. You see, even some of their professors very proud of their language. They don't want to know whether you understand or you don't understand. They will be blowing their local language. So what did I do? I leveraged on ChatGPT to be doing translation for me. I will have my PowerPoint presentation. I will now copy my PowerPoint presentation, give it to ChatGPT to give me the Kazakh or the Russian version of it. And ChatGPT does it very perfectly. That was how I overcame the language barrier when I was in Kazakhstan for 1 month. So AI will help you to do that. And when I was doing it, sometimes I even write their lecturers and all that in Kazakh. They were imagining, how did I come about? I told them, forget to his translator through AI. Yeah, but it works very well. So minus enhancing your collaboration, you have improved efficiency, accuracy, as we said earlier. If you use AI tools, you minimize human errors. Ordinarily, you would have committed. Because AI, despite that it is artificial, it tries as much as possible to be very, very accurate in some of the information AI will give you. But remember, why is artificial? Once what you are feeding the AI becomes too tedious, the AI will give you fake information, provided the AI has given you something. So, but almost 70-80% of the information you get through AI tools, they are accurate. So AI will help you to improve your writing accuracy. And remember that you can only know that what AI has given to you is accurate when you have a good understanding of that thing you are doing. If you are a novice on what you are asking AI to do, in that context, the AI is taking you as a slave. Whatever the AI gives you, you take, whether it is right or wrong. So that's why it's always good for you to double check whenever you get information from AI. Then we can talk about deeper insights. In fact, sometimes there are some Gemini. Gemini acts like just like human being. I was shocked one day. What I did was I was interfacing with Gemini. I told Gemini, I'm planning to conduct this research. Please, can you give me direction on how to go about this research? I left it for Gemini. Gemini gave me everything about it, from introduction through conceptual framework to the methodology and how the results will look like and what I need to know about the discussion and all that. It gave me the outline of everything. I was saying, how? This is the beauty of artificial intelligence. So what I did was to sit down, organize the idea, because the Gemini has given me a structure. It has given me what I need to do about that particular research plot I have. In actual sense, it didn't give me the flesh of that particular research I want to do, but it has given me a structure. So, and with that structure, it became so easy for me to get the information I wanted when I consulted Elicit. That is how to write your research these days without much stress. But remember, you must know the direction you are going to. Otherwise, AI will lead you astray. So with this now, cross-disciplinary connections will be very, very easy for you with the AI, because it's going to give you insights into even a field you may not be so conversant with. But once you have gotten the idea about that field, then you can read more about that field and then become even an expert in that field without anybody teaching you except with the help of artificial intelligence. Then those are some of the significance or relevance of AI in research writing. Then what are the categories of AI research tools now? Of course, I said earlier, there are some like the Elicit, the Perplexity. You can use them for literature review. For data analysis, you can make use of your SPSS, you can make use of your in vivo, depending on the type of research you're doing. If you're doing a quantitative research, you can leverage on SPSS, you can leverage on R, you can leverage on Smart PLS, depending on what you are looking for. If you are now looking for maybe something like qualitative research, then you can talk about in vivo. Then you have what we call also Atlas CI, but I didn't put it here. So these are some of the best AI research tools you can actually leverage on. This was 2025. So you have Litmaps, you have Semantic Scholar, you have Elicit, as I said earlier, you have in vivo in terms of data analysis with SPSS, you have Perplexity in terms of literature review, you have Zotero in terms of reference manager, you have Mendeley in terms of reference manager, you have Grammarly in terms of grammar, taking care of your grammar. Then PaperPal also will help you to write very well. So these are some of AI research tools when one can leverage on. But for literature review, looking at lit maps, semantic scholar, Google Scholar. Then remember I talked about the elicit, the perplexity. Here, of course, you can see lit maps can give you what we call visual citation mapping. Can help you to track some literature. It can help you to have a track record of collaborative research. Then the strength lies on its ability to give you what we call intuitive visualization. Intuitive visualization. Then you have real-time updates. You have better tracking of research progress. Then, but the limitations. It is relatively new, actually. It is relatively new in the system lit maps, but the database is always smaller compared to the Google Scholar. Remember, some of these things, they are dependent on the availability of materials uploaded on them. Like the lit maps, it depends on the materials uploaded on, because it's recent now. You may not have as many materials as you can get in Google Scholar, or as you can get in Elicit, or as you can get in Perplexity. That is one limitations. But you can use it, of course, we have said, to have a good citation. You have, maybe you want to do what you call mapping of your research connectivity and all that. Then for the semantic scholar, it is also a part of academic search engine where you can do your citation analysis. It can help you to filter some research works depending on your research focus. It is just like the Google Scholar, but has a little difference with the Google Scholar. Of course, you know, Google Scholar has been in existence for a long period of time now. So you can't compare the database of semantic scholar to that of Google Scholar. Then the limitation, the smaller database, just like that of lit maps. Then you can use it to get literature for your work. But most prominent among these AI tools is the Google Scholar. I like this Google Scholar very well, because once you get to Google Scholar and feed in the Google Scholar with what you are writing, the Google Scholar will give you thousands of materials on them. If you want to sieve them by recency, you can just limit your search to maybe 2020 to 2026. All the literature is going to give you will be within that time frame. It won't give you anything below or anything after. Of course, it can't be giving you 2027. So Google Scholar is for sure. It is always for researchers who actually need diverse information because of its larger database. Okay, so let's these are just a kind of explanation of what lit maps is all about. We have said that it is a tool for visualizing citation networks. It will help you to track how studies connect and evolve over time. That is what lit maps does for you. Then here now, when it visualizes research citation networks, it will help you to track how studies are actually connected. That's why you need it. Remember, for those that are doing their PhD, doing their masters or otherwise, when you talk about review of related empirical studies, this is where lit maps will help you very well, because the lit maps will give you materials that are actually related to what you are looking for. It won't go outside the research focus. So it is a very good research AI tool for those writing their thesis, their dissertation, as the case may be. Then the semantic scholar we have also talked about. Let's just move forward. Okay, here also I've talked about writing and editing tools. So among the AI tools, I talked about Grammarly, I talked about paper now. of course, we can see some of their strengths and their limitations and what they are best used for, and then the cost. Of course, the Grammarly is not order free, but you can have access to limited features of Grammarly freely. But if you want the whole version of Grammarly, the whole functions in Grammarly, you are going to pay. For paper, you are going to pay. But that doesn't mean that you cannot do some works on paper. You can. You can, but it will give you limited feature. Quiboat also is free, but it has words limitation. I think around 125. I think around 125 words. That is the maximum it can contain at a point. But if you can get up to 120 something words at a go, and after which you repeat, why then worry yourself to make payment that will be in dollars? You can make use of the chunks, the little, the much it can contain. Just take your time, do it one after the other, then you use it to rewrite your work. The beauty of this is that if you do it, plagiarism check will not detect it as being plagiarized, unlike getting information from ChatGPT directly and then pasting, or using ChatGPT to rewrite. If you use ChatGPT to rewrite, if you feed it in Turnitin, it's going to flag it as being plagiarized. But if you use Quiboat to rewrite, to edit your work, the AI, the Turnitin app will not detect it as being plagiarized. That is the beauty of Quiboat as well. Then, how do we choose right AI tool for research? Of course, you need to consider these factors. First, what do you need? What are you looking for? What is your research focus? Very, very important. What type of data do you want? What are your research questions? What are the desired functionalities in terms of literature review, data analysis, or text summarization? These are factors you're going to consider before you begin to talk of, I want elicit, I want perplexity, I want litmaps, I want Grammarly, or whatever. These are fundamental questions or considerations you need to take before you check the kind of AI tool you want to use. Very, very important. Then, when you have done this, when you have set out these points, then you need to consider among the AI tools, just as I have mentioned, which one best fits what I want to do. Then before you can settle for it. I have said here that I have used perplexity, I have used elicit, but when I identify the elicit, I don't always go for perplexity, because I have noticed that most of the literature that I want for my research work, I can get it, rest assured, from elicit. These are the things you need to consider before you get into any of the AI tools. Then we need to consider some of the ethical and academic integrity here. Remember, I said earlier, don't be a slave to AI. Use AI as an assistant. So in this context, try to avoid plagiarism. How do you avoid that? I told you that even if you get information from ChatGPT, try to rewrite it. Don't use it whole and entire. Otherwise, anywhere you send it into and they check the plagiarism, is going to reflect that you plagiarized it, despite that it is AI that gave you. So always try to paraphrase if any information you get from AI tool, except you are paraphrasing using Quiboat. If you are paraphrasing using Quiboat, you get information from ChatGPT, you ask Quiboat to paraphrase for you. It is allowed. Remember, it is an editing AI tool. It is allowed. You can use it to paraphrase to reduce plagiarism. Then you can also remember I talked about any information you get from AI tool, make sure that you double check it. Verify to make sure that that information is exactly what you are looking for. Then also maintain transparency in AI usage. Transparency. Be as transparent as possible in using AI tool. Remember, the major essence of using AI is to facilitate what you're doing, not for the AI to do it for you. You must take the ownership of whatever you're doing. Otherwise, there was an argument when I was in Kazakhstan, whether if you use AI to write everything, whether you are to reference AI. For me, I don't subscribe to that. I rather get information from AI and use my own sense and get what I want and claim the ownership of it. And of course, if you are getting such information from maybe illicit and all that, they have references already. Then you can reference such persons and make sure that you paraphrase to own the language. Ensure originality of ideas. When you get any information from AI, please don't copy and paste. Add your voice to that particular thing. It, after all, the essence of this leveraging on this AI is for you to get information which ab initio you may have not known. Once you get that information, put it in your own way and then march forward. Then what are the best practices? I've just outlined some of these as the best practices in using AI for research writing. Combine AI with expertise. Very important. Combine AI with expertise. Remember, I said ab initio, if you are not an expert in the area you are working, you may not be able to use AI very effectively. So you need to adequately, in fact, arm yourself that when AI tells me this, I'll be able to say, oh, this is actually what I'm looking for, not necessarily what AI has given to me. Very, very important. Then maintain academic voice. If you lose your voice to AI, make sure that you are acknowledging that this paper was written by AI. As simple as that. But believe me, that no editor will allow that. Most journal editors will say you need to declare that this document, this manuscript was not written by AI. You have such declarations in some of these high impact factor journals. You must make the declaration. And in the event that you use AI to write everything and you did not declare, they will catch you because they are going to turn it in before they send it for review. So why most of us get instant rejection in journals is because of some of these things. But if you know some of these nitty-gritty in using AI, you may not be a victim of we're sorry that your paper cannot proceed for review because of so and so. So the option is yours. So always review and edit AI output. I have already said it earlier. Cross-check references manually. Sometimes, let me tell you my experience with Mendeley. Mendeley, if a particular work was not properly uploaded, if you want to reference it, instead of the Mendeley giving you the surname of that or one of the authors, assuming it's multiple author paper, the Mendeley is going to give you just something that is not even a surname or even first name. But at the end of the day, it's going to reference it. So, but it's going to reference it wrongly. So when you get such, what you need to do is you quickly go to the original work and get the correct surname and then put it manually in the Mendeley. It will ask you, do you want to save this manually? You will say yes. It will save it. But when it's going to insert the bibliography, is he going to insert the bibliography based on that original reference he has given you in text? So it is not allowed for you to double cross-check the references at the end of the day to make sure that all the reference lists are correct. That is what Mendeley does for you. It makes mistakes in some references, but it is left for you to cross-check. But such errors are minimal anyways, but they are important. And that's why you need to check them when such occurs before you finally submit your paper. Most importantly, you are an author. The AI should be an assistant, not an author. I already said it. Don't make yourself a slave to AI. Otherwise, you may not be able to do anything on your own, but with the help of AI, it will be very, very difficult. So, of course, every institution has, I don't know whether UNN has anyways, but I know that most institutions abroad, they have institutional policy on use of AI. They have their do's and don'ts. So, and it's very, very important because AI has come to stay. We can't run away from AI. So what the university or any institution owes the students and the staff is to come up with policy on the use of AI. Most universities abroad have that and they go by that. So they won't tell you not to use AI. You are free to use AI, but make sure you work within the tenets of the policies guiding the use of AI. Otherwise, they will turn it back. So, what are some common concerns about AI? You can see, will artificial intelligence replace researchers? The answer is no. Why? That's why that you can ask AI to give you literature review. AI cannot give you data. AI cannot go to the field for you to collect data for you to analyze if you actually want to be a true researcher. And thank God for Google Form these days. Google Form has simplified data collection. You can design Google Form, float the link everywhere. People will willingly fill it for you. You go and download it and run your analysis. AI cannot do that for you. So AI cannot replace researchers. But remember also I said that AI hallucinates. AI makes mistake. So AI can never guarantee accuracy. So in most cases, double check your work for accuracy purposes. And people used to ask whether AI is allowed in academia. It depends on policy, just as I said earlier. Most universities abroad, they have their policy on AI. They are not totally against AI. After all, AI is assisting tremendously in every field. Even in management, AI assists. So why can't we use it for academic purposes? So AI should be allowed in academia, actually, but it should be guided by institutional policy. Then, do you need to verify output from AI? Yes, I said it earlier. Always verify the information given to you by AI. Most of the outputs I have noticed are wrong. So, what are the recommendations? Develop AI literacy skills. Use your artificial intelligence strategically. Maintain academic integrity, very important. Stay updated on artificial intelligence policies. So if you know your institution has policy on artificial intelligence, make sure that you work by that. Don't go contrary to the policy on artificial intelligence. So if you don't have AI literacy, it will be difficult for you to make use of AI in writing. To be honest with you, you can only make effective use of artificial intelligence when you have the AI literacy skills. If you don't have such skills, it becomes very, very difficult for you. Then, what are the key takeaways here? You can see all this. AI enhances your research productivity. It improves your clarity, the clarity and structure of the research you want to do. Then, try to ensure that you make use of AI ethically. Ethical use of AI is very, very important in this context. Then human oversight remains critical. So remember, you are a human being. The artificial intelligence is a non-human being. These are just codes that the experts wrote and floated. So I know in most cases, some of the information you may get from AI may be true, but most of the information, in some cases, especially where the artificial intelligence is not conversant with. If you are working in an area where artificial intelligence is not conversant with, be mindful of the fact that you may get so many information that are wrong. And in the event that you get such, then it can only take your literacy skills in the use of ICT to notice that, for you to avoid such erroneous information given to you by AI. So make sure you are the owner of the work, not the AI. That is very, very important. So these are some of the important takeaways for this particular webinar. And with this, I will say thank you for listening.
Wow, 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 wow. Let the reactions flow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know you said you prefer being called Comrade Christian Ugwuanyi, but for some reason, okay, I'll try my best to remember to call you Comrade. But if I say Prof, please.
Better.
I'll try my best. I am so in fact, at a point, I wanted to say that we wouldn't have called this harnessing AI tools. We would have called it research hack, because it just gave us everything we need to hack research. Honestly, I am so grateful for your time. I don't know about others, but apart from the key takeaways one of the things that I am taking away from this session is the fact that we all need to develop AI literacy skills. It can never be understated. It cannot be overemphasized. Someone once asked me, do you think that artificial intelligence will replace teachers? I said, no. AI will not replace teachers. AI will not replace researchers. But researchers and teachers that are literate, that are AI literate, may end up taking the jobs from those that are not AI literate. It is possible. Things are going to get very difficult for some persons, but you just have to keep developing yourself. And while you are using artificial intelligence to make your output clear and more organized, you have to remember to maintain academic integrity. Like our speaker kept emphasizing, you must maintain academic integrity. And if you do that, if you want your artificial intelligence to be the one to write your paper, just remember
Moderator, any problem?
but okay. I'm back. Okay. Sorry about that. Something happened to the network.
So continue.
Please, if you can. Oh, okay. So can you hear me?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So while we are still here, I would like to also say something. Prof said, Comrade Christian said, if you should be so knowledgeable in that thing that you're looking for, that thing that you want artificial intelligence to help you to organize, you should know it so well that when AI says something, when it gives you an output, you should be able to know that this is not what you are looking for, or this is what you are looking for. So if you don't know what it is exactly that you're looking for, AI is going to give you its own thoughts. And like he said, it hallucinates. So let me stop talking here and let's quickly go to the chat box and go through some of the questions that I haven't answered already. People have been engaging. Our professors are here, and I am so honored that they are here lending their voice. I am so honored to have you all. So, Prof, please, we have a question from Mr. Valentine Uche. He's asking which AI tool would be suitable for physics research work.
Okay. For physics research work.
Yes, Prof.
Valentine,
Yes, Prof.
yeah, Valentine, remember what I said earlier. Some of these AI tools, the AI tools actually, they were not designed to be subject specific, but it depends on the issue you want to look for. In fact, virtually all the AI tools can give you information in any field. But what you need to consider first is, what am I looking for? Which particular AI tool will give me what I'm looking for? Remember that for literature review, you have AI tools that will facilitate your literature review, like the Perplexity, like the Elicit, like the Lit Maps. Then, if maybe what you want to write is to organize ideas, you want a structure of the work you want to do, ChatGPT, Gemini can give you a structure of what you want to do. Then once you have gotten the structure, it is now left for you to develop the structure the Gemini has given to you or the ChatGPT has given to you. So the straight answer to your question is, it depends on what you are looking for. AI tools, they are not other subject specific. It depends on what you are looking for that will determine the AI tool you will get, you'll be going for. But they are in a kind of cluster, looking for reference manager. You talk of Zotero, you talk of Mendeley, you talk of a site. Then if you're talking about literature review, talk of Elicit, talk of Perplexity, you talk of Lit Map. But I said from experience, I prefer Elicit when I want to organize my literature review. So I think that has answered your question.
Okay, I believe so too. There is no particular AI tool for a particular subject. It depends on what you are looking for. Thank you so much, Prof. Dr. Ojo Samson is asking which AI tool is best for data analysis. I think you mentioned some of them while you were presenting.
Yeah, sure. I said also the type of data you want to analyze to a very large extent determines the kind of AI tool you want to use. If it is quantitative, then you will be talking about SPSS. But SPSS is limited. For instance, if you want to run structural equation modeling for those of us that in measurement and sciences, you can't be talking about SPSS. You can talk about the smart PLS. You can talk about AMOS, IBM AMOS. Then, but if what you're working on is purely qualitative, then that is where the in vivo comes in. In vivo comes in for qualitative data analysis. Atlas TI comes in when you talk of qualitative data analysis, but it also depends on your expertise. It depends on your expertise, because some of these qualitative AI tools, they are in fact, they are not easy to go by, but it just takes time for you to learn them. Thank God for YouTube. Some of the things we need to know these days, you may not need any maybe human assistant per se. What you may need to do is go to YouTube, also type in, I want to learn how to use in vivo to do qualitative data analysis. The YouTube will give you a video demonstration on how to use in vivo to analyze your qualitative data. If it is Atlas TI, just put in, I need video demonstration on how to run qualitative data analysis using Atlas TI. YouTube will give you perfect videos that you can leverage on and you become an expert. So I believe these days, It is not a question of, oh, I don't know, I want to go to Comrade Christian to teach me how to do that analysis. At the comfort of your zone, you can actually get whatever you want via YouTube, because people write all this and post on YouTube for people to make use of. So, as I said, it depends on the data you want to analyze. That will determine the type of AI tool you will use for data analysis. Sometimes people go to ChatGPT. They will say, oh, take this data, analyze, and of course, ChatGPT will not give you a rigorous data analysis. That is just the truth about it. If you feed in Excel data to it, it will just give you a bar chart, pie chart, and that is all. And those things, they don't make any sense. So it will now be left for you to either use SPSS or use any other software to analyze such quantitative data.
Okay, thank you so much. We have another question, but I think it's from Peace of Mind, and they are asking, how can one write a research and what is it all about? So I think this is a different ball game altogether. If you want to write a research, it means there's a problem that you are thinking of a way to solve. So that is where you're starting from. You will start from identifying a problem, and then you take it from there. So that is a whole different ball game, Peace of Mind. So moving on, so we don't keep Prof waiting. We have a lot of thank yous. And then someone is asking, is there a way we can get this slide? Yes, you will get the slide alongside a recording of this session. When it is ready, it will be posted on the platform where you got the Google link from. Okay, thank you for being here. And Prof is asking, is Elicit free too, or is it like ChatGPT that has a paid upgraded version? I do believe there is a basic plan, which I think serves its purpose, but Comrade Christian, what do you think? Is there a free basic plan?
Yeah, the Elicit, you know, most of these AI tools, most of them are not free. But just as I said when I was talking about Scribbles, you need to be patient with them. It's just that what the information you get at a time will be limited. But it gives you room to search for those information often as the number of times you want. So the Elicit, since I've been using it, they will be telling me upgrade to premium and all that. But I told them I'm a Nigerian, the salary I receive is peanuts, I can't pay. Let me be making use of the Elicit the way I've been using it. So what I do is I use the free version of it. But the most important thing is that I get every information I want. The only thing is that it will take me more time to feed information and get what I want at a time. So you need to be patient with some of these AI tools, except you have money to subscribe for premium. But I don't advise you to do that, because without free, you can do a lot of things. Thank you.
Of course, of course. And then the last question here from Dr. Joe Sampson again, he's asking, can Julius AI be used to get the same results as Amos and SPSS? Can Julius AI be used to get the same result as Amos and XPSS?
The answer is double-headed anyways. Remember I said sometimes Julius can give you a wrong result. And that's why, remember I said, you need to double check the output in terms of analysis. Double check the outputs you get from Julius or whatever. If you are using Julius or any other, even ChatGPT can do analysis for you, but double check it. But the experience I have had in some cases, especially if you give a rigorous analysis to Julius or even ChatGPT or any other AI tool you can use for analysis, it will give you the much that particular tool knows. Okay. The best way is, if, just as I said, you must be an expert. You can double check. Okay, run it in Amos, run it in Smart Fearless, and then compare the result for you to be sure that what Julius has given you is correct before you go on with it. That is just the best way for you. the truth is, double check whatever you get, any output you get from any type of AI tool, be it literature review, be it for analysis, be it for references. That is just the rule of the game.
Wow. Okay. And then, okay, there's another one. Okay, I think this is the last one from Stella Kama. She's asking, you talked about using AI as an assistant and not the. If I write and then AI paraphrases, does that make AI the author or assistant?
Okay, in paraphrasing, AI is just an assistant. You have written, yeah, you are the author of the work. But remember that these days, why I even am not so much attached to this plagiarism check is, traditionally we learned that plagiarism is when you write and you fail to acknowledge the source of the information. But what plagiarism software, what is obtainable in plagiarism software is when you write and you acknowledge someone, for the fact that that information has been uploaded online like that, is going to flag it that you plagiarize it. But in the actual sense, it is not plagiarism, because you have cited, you have acknowledged the source of that information. Okay. So when you write, perhaps by consulting what other people's or maybe other people's work have, then you, by peradventure, you check your plagiarism. As me, you have the software, and I encourage everybody to have the software, so that before you submit your paper for review, you check it and make sure that it is within the acceptable range. And when you check for plagiarism, you notice that those information you have gotten from already existing works were flagged, despite that you cited them, you acknowledge them. Then you can take the information to Quibots or paper and ask, just put the information, ask the Quibot to paraphrase for you. In that context, you are just seeking the assistance of AI to help you run away from plagiarism. That is just all. The AI is not an author in this context. Remember, I told you that when you use Quibots to write, AI plagiarism software does not pick it as being plagiarized, except if you are using ChatGPT. You are getting information from ChatGPT directly, and you are just putting it. AI picks it 100% as being plagiarized. So I think that answers that.
I think so too. We have another one from Dr. Eunice Chukwumogo. She's asking, how can AI paraphrase what you have written? Paraphrasing should be for what someone else wrote.
Perhaps she didn't get, if she actually got this explanation I gave now, I believe that may have overtaken her question, because we are talking about in a context, in a situation where you've consulted what maybe Christian has written. You want to cite me in what you're writing, and you have innocently and religiously cited Christian for that particular source of information.
I was working since
now the Tonitin or whatever is telling you that you plagiarize Christian's work. It doesn't work like that. It is not plagiarism. But for you to run away from that, you can ask Quibot, okay, please, perhaps I didn't get the paraphrasing of what Christian said to avoid plagiarism. Please, can you paraphrase it for me? That is what we are saying, not what you have written. But I want to shock you again. You see, in methodology, for instance, you have maybe you write that you are adopting a quasi-experimental research design for the work you want to do. And you want to use your knowledge of quasi-experiment to explain it. And thereafter, you use an authority to back it up. And that's the explanation you have offered from your chest, let me put it that way, or from your head. Then software, plagiarism software is telling you that you have plagiarized this. And when you check, it has highlighted it red, showing that such words you have used have been uploaded online, despite that you innocently wrote it within your own level of understanding. In that context, you don't have option than to ask people, please though, these people are saying that I plagiarize this, but I'm the originator of it. Can you help me and put it in a way that will be free from plagiarism? That is where you use paraphrasing AI tools.
Yeah.
So I think that has answered her question.
Yes, that answers it. Thank you so much. And I think that is the last question that we have. Even though the last person says she was responding to someone, but I think the explanation you gave now, I think it has made all of us understand it better. Okay. Some persons have been raising their hand. Even Professor Nzewi's hand is up, but mommy, I cannot allow you because it is against the settings. Is it possible for you to put the question down again in the chat box?
Mommy.
Oh, okay. She says it's in error. Oh, thank you. Because she has been very diligent.
I want us to be safe.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to even call my technical team now to come and make sure that she's
okay. That's fine.
Yes, she said it's in error. Thank you so much.
All
our professors here. Thank you. Hey, to say this comrade there is not flowing from my mouth though.
I beg. I'll be much glad.
I'll ask Quilbot to paraphrase it for me.
I beg. I'll be much glad.
Okay, so everyone, I know that today, I'm sure you have realized, today was not about shortcuts. It was actually about working smarter. So if you're a student, if you're a researcher, if you're a lecturer, artificial intelligence can support your process when you use it intentionally and ethically. So this is just what we are here for. AI tools will help you to gain clarity, to organize your thoughts, to even, map out some kind of direction. It will help you to organize your references and all that. I use Mendeley too, I use Zotero and all that, and they are all awesome. I want to thank our speaker for this hack that he has given us today. So I want us to know that this is just the first of many clarity-focused sessions that I will be hosting on this space. So thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you so much for trusting Comrade Christian. Thank you so much for coming over here to hear us speak. Okay, so till we see you again. Before then, I want you to know once again that the recording of this session alongside the slides will be available on the platform where you got the link from. So watch out for that. So till we see you again in the next one, once again, I am Dr. B. So good night. I love you all. Good night.
So good night, everyone. Thank you, Bianca, for facilitating this webinar. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night. Bye.